everyone, welcome back. How you doing? I'm eating popcorn. What are you guys doing? You busy? You got a minute? Can we talk? I'm enjoying this popcorn. This is this side down. Oh, that's the instructions. Haha. Quinn popcorn. Pure pop bag. No chemical coatings. No plastics. No scary stuff. Made with organic popcorn. From Thrive Market. I've never used them before. First time using them. I'm liking this popcorn. My husband said it has too many no's in it. Not enough junk. This is healthy. I'm liking it. So are you guys busy? You want to join me? I'm going to work on a 2-week stockpile for those that have a family of 1 or 2. You want to find out? Grab your bowl of popcorn. Grab your coffee. And let's do this. All right. So what am I talking about? A 2-week stockpile. Stockpile, stockpile, stockpile. That word is all we hear. I am sure you are having nightmares and dreams about stockpiles and whether we should or shouldn't, and how should we, and how do we afford it? What do we get? What don't we get? Do I shop? Do I buy more? Oh no, do I have enough? What should I do? All these questions on how to do a stockpile. Okay, stop right there. Whoop, time out. I'm going to give you some basic rules that I follow. And I will tell you, this is not for a prepper. This is not for the experienced stockpiler. This is not for somebody that has, you know, the pantry that you open up and it's well filled. This is for somebody that can't afford a stockpile, hasn't started a stockpile, doesn't have the room for a stockpile, is overwhelmed by a stockpile. Anybody in that category? Or you're totally confused about a stockpile? Raise your hand. Okay, good. All right, I got an audience here. Okay, so 2-week stockpile. I did a video months ago, a year ago? I don't even know. About a year ago, I'm guessing. I'll try and link it below. How to start a stockpile on $5. I recommended $5. $1 a week is basically what it comes down to. I still recommend that. If you haven't started a stockpile, maybe you have one, it's gotten a little, you know, old and rusty. You need to spruce it up. You need to revamp it. Maybe you had one day and you just let it go, whatever the case might be. I recommend, if you can afford it, $1 a week. I picked $5. So it's usually 4 weeks in a month, sometimes 5. So you can only afford $2, you do $2 a month, whatever you can afford. And you get one item at a time. That would be what I recommend. I would definitely, for me, I like to eat meat. So for me, picking up a can of meat would be one thing I'd pick up. A can of vegetables might be another thing. Maybe a muffin mix or a pancake mix or a bread mix of some sort would be another thing. That would be 3 things. The 4th thing I'd probably pick up is a rice, a potato, or a noodle. And then the 5th thing I'd pick up would be a combination of either a can of soup, a can of cream soup that you can use to mix all of it together and make a meal. Just a can of soup that you can use as a meal. Maybe a can of pre-made stew or something that you open a can and there's a meal. Maybe a spice or like a bouillon, a bottle of bouillon cubes or something like that that you can use to enhance the meal. That's my recommendation. And every month or every week you spend $1. I will tell you, yes, it isn't much, and somebody's going to say, well, you gotta go now and you gotta stock up and you gotta spend all this money. I will tell you, not everybody has money. I was talking to somebody today, and there's a new restaurant coming to our town, and it's barbecue, Texas barbecue. Now you have to understand, where I live, we have funeral homes, we have banks, and we have doctors. That's a hot commodity around where I live. That's like predominant in our little town. That's what we have. At least 3 funeral homes. I don't know how many banks and up-teen doctors. getting a restaurant in this town is like a wow. And I said to her, oh, they're coming. And she says, I can't afford to go. And everybody, they're opening tomorrow, so everybody at work is all excited. And this person can't afford to go because payday isn't until Friday. So people, that's who I want to talk to. People like you that are living paycheck to paycheck that don't have the extra money. We talk about stockpiles as if the whole world has lots of money to spend, and some people just don't. Some weeks you have it, some weeks you don't. So what's a simple solution on how to start a stockpile in a simple way, not a lot of money? How can I do it? I'm overwhelmed. I just don't know. Okay, here's what I would suggest. Number one is start with the $5 a week. I think it's a way to do it. So let's start with $5 for 1 week and $5 for the next, or something along that line. This is not an exact. I actually literally just grabbed product from my stockpile and dumped it in 2 bins. Okay, we got a bin here and I have a bin here. Now, I have not put this necessarily in to make the perfect meals. That's not the point of this. This is just a visual for you. So my point is I have 2 bins. So go to the dollar store and get yourself 2 bins. Or get 2 boxes that you have in the house, or get whatever, 2 bags, so 2 drawers in your kitchen, something. And that's going to represent 2 weeks. I'm going to make this as simple as I can. I like simple. I like simple solutions on how to build a stockpile so that I'm not overwhelmed. And I get, people say, oh, you're so good at this certain things. I get overwhelmed like anybody else. I live a full life. I am busy. I am active. And so, I'm not sitting home thinking, what should I put in my stockpile today? That is just not on the forefront of my mind. What is on my mind is, what are we going to make for food today? How am I going to feed the family today? What am I going to bring to lunch today? I got to go to work. We got to eat. So eating means having food in the house. 2 weeks. We're going to work on 2 weeks. I feel that that's something that most people could afford. Not everyone, but most people. Even if you had to go to a food bank and go to a food pantry, you, having been there, I know you probably get enough that you could sustain yourself for 2 weeks, most times. Okay, so let's just work on this. You can adapt this to however you want. You're going to get 2 bins, and you're going to shop for 2 weeks worth of meals. Now, however you want to do this. Now, this does not include spices. This does not include butter, mayonnaise, condiments, bread, things along that line. What this could include would be, I would suggest a dinner that you could, based on the size of your family, that you could double so that it could be dinner tonight and leftover lunch for tomorrow. So if you're going to make chili, you can make a big pot of chili tonight and have it for lunch tomorrow. You're going to make spaghetti, you make spaghetti tonight, you have spaghetti for lunch for tomorrow. You want to make a canned ham and some green beans and some mashed potatoes, or I even have scallop potatoes here. See, yummy scallop potatoes, $1 a box, not bad deal, right? So maybe do some scallop potatoes and green beans and a canned ham. If you're getting canned meat, or a ham slice or whatever you can get fairly cheap at the grocery store. Make enough, dinner tonight and lunch tomorrow. So really you're only having to plan 5 to 6 dinners, and that will cover your lunches. Fair enough? Seems simple? Okay. Then figure for your breakfast. Maybe this week you can pick up, where do I have it in one of these? Here. Maybe you can pick up these muffin mixes. You can get these for $1 at Dollar General. Walmart sells these really cheap. They're $1.25 at Dollar Tree. So maybe get 2 different muffin mixes, or get a muffin mix and some grits, or get a muffin mix and some eggs. And then you can just have a basic muffins and eggs, muffins and or whatever. So you have that ham. Maybe the next day, instead of having just ham with potatoes and green beans, maybe turn it into a sandwich. And if you have bread, make a ham sandwich. Get the idea? So you want to be able to create 5 to 6 dinners. I always say 5 to 6 because usually the 6th to 7th, you can have a can of soup. You can do some leftovers. Maybe somebody's going to invite you out to eat. You know, maybe. And, you know, you can always throw another bean in the pot, as they say, to stretch things out. But you want to basically have 5 dinners planned, 5 to 6 dinners, double it so you can have some lunch out of it. Get a basic something for breakfast. And in a sense, now granted, you're not going to put your eggs in the bin, but you're going to put your eggs in the refrigerator, maybe your bread, wherever. And what I would suggest is either you put inside here, but I would get an index card and I would tape it right to the front with your menu plan for that week based on what primarily is in your basket or your bucket or your tote. Right on here, write your menu plan, week 1, and there's your menu. This way you don't forget, how was I going to use these things? How was I going to combine these things? Then you now have a menu card for week 1. You're all set. Okay, so week 1, we just finished eating. We're full. We had a great week. It worked out fantastic. Now we're on to week 2. And we have our menu card. Let's assume there's a menu card right here. And it lists what I'm going to make for the week. You don't have to think. Crazy busy week. You come home from work and you're like, what do I do? Oh, I got a can of roast beef. And I've got some cornbread. And I've got some vegetables. And I've got some stuff I was going to use. I got rice. Whatever the case might be. Whatever you want to do. We got butter noodles. Plan out 5 to 6 dinners, double it, use it for lunch for the next day. Same thing with breakfast. Maybe plan on doing pancakes and eggs. Do something simple like that. Alternate it. Maybe one day have both. The next day just do pancakes. The next day just do eggs. Whatever you want to do. Have your second bin and your menu card is on there. Now what happened to this bin? Okay, so let me just move these things along because we've already eaten, right? Week 1 is over and we've eaten all our food. Okay, so let's get that. All right, now here's week 1 and here's week 2. So now what we have to do is take off the menu card for week 1, or you can use the same one if you really like the menu, and you've got to shop while week 2 has begun. You now need to go back to the store and only pick up what you need for this week. So you're always going to be at least a week ahead. Have your menu card written out, go to the store, get enough for 5 to 6 dinners that can carry over for lunch, and get something basic for breakfast. Even granola bars. I'll tell you, I just got a recipe for, and I got to try it. I'm all excited. What was it? Granola scones. And it had fruit and nuts and oatmeal and all kinds of bits. And I thought, oh my word, it sounds so healthy and so good. So you can come up with a breakfast cookie or something like that that you can grab and go on the road. So now week 2, you're going to shop for week 3. Put your menu card on here and you're going to fill this during the week so that when week 2 is over, you now have your 3rd week started. That's a great place to start for 2 weeks. It's not a lot of money. It's not a lot of food. It's not overwhelming. It's not going to drive you insane. It's not a lot of space. It keeps things simple. Simple solutions, a 2-week stockpile. How can I do it with no money, no space, no time? I'm overwhelmed. I don't know where to start. I'm listening to all these people and they're telling me, and don't panic. Okay? Number 1 rule is you don't panic. I want you to breathe. I want you to get a few dollars together. I want you to get yourself 2 bins, 2 boxes, and start your 2-week rotation. The good news is, there's good news. You have now learned how to start a simple stockpile for 2 weeks on very little money. And the great news is, you have menu cards that can carry and sustain you for those 2 weeks. If you like the menu, great. If you don't like the menu, tear that card up, start fresh. with a whole new idea. Look for the sales, look for the BOGOs, buy one, get one free. Don't use both of those on that week. Buy one goes in here and the free one goes in the following week. Now, when you get a little extra money and you can get yourself a little bit more established, get yourself in a routine of these 2 weeks. After you've gotten yourself into a 2-week routine, that's going to be fantastic. The next thing you want to do is now add week 3. Get a menu card, write down your menu. And as you can get more funds, you're going to now get 5 to 6 dinners in here that can carry over to lunch with leftovers and a basic breakfast meal in here. After you've done week 3, what I would personally recommend is filling up your pantry and stockpile with some basics. Get some flour, get some sugar, get some spices, get some bouillon cubes. Get those items, get a bag of salad, get some salad dressings. Maybe if you can get a couple of fresh bananas and apples and carrots and all those good things, if you haven't already included that in your meals. Now, if you're on a budget, some people cannot afford a ton of fresh fruits and vegetables. No judgment here. Listen, we're not talking this is a forever menu. We're talking, I got to get started. I have no money. How can I do this? A great place to start. I hope you enjoyed this. I would love to get your ideas on maybe another way to do something to create a simple solution for a stockpile for those that have no money, no time, no space, and they're overwhelmed with how in the world can I do this? You can do this. You can do this because I'm here to help you, and so are the other viewers that are going to leave the comments below. I would love to hear from you if this is something that might work from you. Thanks so much for spending your time coming over and visiting with me. I hope you enjoyed your popcorn like I'm going to continue enjoying mine. Bye for now. See you next video.